Adjusting the width of a component has always been fairly easy with auto layout, set to fill or hug, or using padding. However, height has always been more of an issue. And in this video, I'll teach you how to make a really simple component that will solve that height problem and more. Let's get started. To make an image size adjuster, we're going to start out with an auto layout frame. I'm just going to make a frame. I'm going to hit auto layout. That turns it into an auto layout frame. Next thing I want to do is I want to fix the width, and I will say 8 pixels just because. No real good reason at all. The next thing I want to do is shrink the height down so it's 0. The way to do this in Figma is to hit a decimal point and spam some zeros and hit 1. Confirm. So now, even though it's not technically 0, right, because it's that 1, it reads as 0. I am going to duplicate this. And I'm going to put both of these. This is the top line. This is the bottom line. I'm going to put both of those in an auto layout frame. I am going to make that 8 apart. And this will be my image size adjuster vertical. And I'm going to skip the naming because I know I'm just going to add a variant Boolean property. So I'm just going to call it true. I'm going to duplicate. Yeah, 8's good. And I'm going to switch things up a little bit. So I'm going to have it go left to right instead of top to bottom. And then I need to change things around. This needs to be 8. This needs to be 0.0001, whatever it is. I'll just copy that for the next one. That's done. And again, this needs to be 8. And that also needs to be 0. So now I essentially have 2 bars that are controlled by the space in between. I am going to select both of these. Well, first I'm going to change this name to false. Select both, put into a component set, and just so I don't lose it, I do add a fill to the background of the component set, just so I know it's there. Let's use these. This is a prime example of why I made the image size adjuster, because we always wanted things to be 1 by 1. So if I deleted a card and I already had all the copy and all the other attributes tweaked to where they were inside of that card, I wouldn't want to have to redo the work. So I would command click on my size adjuster, and okay, the width is 420. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch in 420. I can do that again. So that's the first use case for the image size adjuster. The next use case is buttons. I don't know if you've ever had this happen to you before, but let's say that I want to swap out an instance and I will choose a button. I don't want it from my master design system, local components. I'll choose this Apple one. This Apple has no size adjuster in it, and it gets distorted. Not cool, man. So I double click on my other button, and now I'm going to pick a button that does have 2 image size adjusters in it. Boom. It doesn't get distorted, and it respects the size of the button. I'm going to twirl this down to show you what I did here with the image size adjusters, right? As you can see, one goes vertical, and then the other one goes horizontal. And there's 10 pixels in the audio. You don't need that, right? You can just use 2 image size adjusters and then you're good to go. However, you do want to get rid of that background color, so that way you have a clean button. Here's another use case for the size adjuster. I'm going to grab a card and show the logo. And let's say I need to replace this logo. I'm going to command click in, and then I'm going to change the image. We've added our logo and it doesn't look great. Let's fix that. I'm going to set it to fit. I'm going to get rid of this background color just so I have a better idea of what it's going to look like. Maybe want that logo to be, you know what? We're doing this for us. A client's not here, so the logo doesn't always have to be bigger. Let's just keep it at 32 height. And the last thing we need to do is adjust the padding. So if I want it left aligned, I'm going to zero that out. I'm also going to punch in. And when this starts shrinking is when we have went too far. Oh. So there. I've added my logo. I can adjust the size and I can adjust the placement. The size adjuster is so simple and it's so useful, and I haven't begun to scratch the surface of what it can do. Since the time of the screen recording, I found another use case and a better way to use it, but that's not what I'm excited about. I'm excited about seeing what everybody else can do with it. Please find new use cases and applications for this component and leave them in the comments. I'd love to do a part 2 of this video, and it would be great if all the use cases were from you all. So please don't forget to comment. I hope this helped. Please like, share, subscribe. Bye, friends.